I feel like I'm no longer a human being. Now, come on me with this walk as I explain to you guys what I mean by that. Now, I'm sure many of you guys are in this awakening stage of life where the cracks start to open, You start to realize that what you've been told is not exactly the full story. And things are just not the way they seem, right? I'm sure many of my subscribers are in that stage. And the most horrifying part of that stage of life, in my opinion, well, stage of life, not everyone even gets there to begin with, let's just make that clear. But the most, horrifying part about this all is, man, you go a whole life thinking this is the way the world works, and thinking that you are who you are. And then once that illusion starts to crack, and once you start to realize things aren't the way they seem, it starts to attack your identity, And at least in my case, I don't even know, who I am anymore. I don't know what I am and why I exist, and I don't know. It just really destroyed my sense of self. And one thing I kind of just realized was that I spent my whole life trying to do things that appeal to, the masses, make friends, get a social circle, get a girlfriend, make a lot of money, buy a house, make small talk, and I just spent my entire life thinking that I need to do these things in order to feel fulfilled, because that's what society says, fulfillment looks like. But then once the illusion started to crack, I started to realize that the person I was trying so hard to be the entire time is not who I am. It's just not who I am. And that's why I'm saying I just don't really feel like a human being at this point, because most human beings just can't relate. I'm not saying this to feel like I'm unique or special or anything interesting. I'm just saying, most people just, they don't really understand, because, again, society told them you should live your life this way, and they just kind of do it, and most people just go through the motions. But I'm starting to realize that the person I thought, the person I was trying to be the entire time it's just not who I am, and it's just not who I want to be. And I don't even know, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what to do. Every single day, it's just me thinking about life, thinking about who I am. And I feel like now, at only 23 years old, I just changed. I just changed so much, and it's just absolutely unbelievable. The person I was even 6 months ago is completely unrecognizable to me. I just don't know who that person is anymore. And it's come to the point where I look in the mirror and I just don't even know who I'm looking at. A few times I've heard people say my name and it just doesn't even register, because I've completely cut ties with that old person I used to be. I just don't feel like the same person. Well, I'm not. And the annoying part is there's so many aspects about my life that remind me of that person I used to be. And one example of that is friends, because the people I talk to currently, the friends I have, they're, how do I explain it? They're people I met way back then. My bad, that car was loud. When I say way back then, I just mean way back when I was that person that I no longer am. So I just don't really feel the need to be talking to people, talking to, friends anymore. I'm pretty much just done with them. I know it's harsh, but I thought about it a lot. They've done great things for me, and they've been helpful. We've had fun times, but it's time to move on, man. I'm cutting ties with every friend I have, which is not that much. But yeah, I'm cutting ties with them. It's over, because they're not friends with the current me. They're friends with the old me. The me that thought that these typical things like friendships and socializing and stuff like that actually meant anything to me. But now I'm realizing it actually doesn't. Maybe I'm an alien, maybe I'm just not a human being, but I just can't see myself doing all of these things, man, that typical people do. I just can't. And even when I was doing them, even when I wasn't aware, I always felt a slight bit of discomfort doing these things. And if you want to know what I mean, go back to my video where I talk about how I'll be single forever, because even that was an example. I was hanging out with girls and getting to know them, and it was getting to that romantic stage, and I was always questioning, like, I don't even know if this is what I want. And I just, obviously they didn't work out, but I realized I'm glad they didn't, because this stuff is just not for me. When it comes to this existence, I just need peace. I just want to be alone. I want to be left alone, dude. And not only do I want to be left alone, but I just want to be thinking, understanding myself, understanding this universe, this world, and coming to new realizations about not only who I am, but who I want to be, and realizing things about this world, and just becoming more aware and understanding everything, and making more realizations about how absurd this world is, of course. But now when it comes to family, my brother was my best friend pretty much. I mean, yeah, we were pretty close. I mean, I have three siblings, so my brother, who is 26 right now, we were like extremely close. I mean, we still are, but I don't really even want to associate with him anymore, because the old me, again, it's just not the current me, and the current me is just not someone that can associate with people, because I'm just too hyper aware of this shit. I'm just too hyper aware of how meaningless this all is. And interacting with human beings just doesn't do it for me. Now, I will say this. There is one sort of interaction I do enjoy, and it's interactions with no strings attached. A few days ago, I was skating through a neighborhood. Not my neighborhood, but a nearby neighborhood. And I was talking to this kid. He was like this 10-year-old kid. He asked me to do some tricks. I only know like a really basic one. So I did it for him, and he was hyping me up, and we were just having a casual, fun chat. And I was kind of talking to the kid like I'm some sort of like role model. I was like, stay in school, do this, do that. I was just doing it because I didn't really know what else to say, And I guess that's still a good message regardless. And overall, I enjoyed the interaction. We talked for about like 20 minutes, and it was just a random kid standing outside of his house. And, I was like, that interaction was pretty nice, that made my day. But when there's strings attached to, interaction, meaning friendships and family, it just doesn't do it for me anymore. It's more of a annoyance to me, because without strings attached, we both know we're never going to see each other again, most likely. So, because once you actually do get to know each other, it just becomes some stuff I totally don't want. So yeah, screw that. But and I'm starting to question if there's something wrong with me for feeling this way, but I've come to the conclusion that there's nothing wrong with me. I don't have depression. A lot of people would say, you have depression, seek a therapist. No. Because this world, you see what I'm saying? Like, this world tries to gaslight people into thinking that they're the wrong ones. They're the ones that have something wrong with them. That's not the case. That's not the case. Just because some people like me realize that these typical things that humans do are just, they're not fulfilling to us, that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with us. That just means, society's at fault for thinking everyone's the same. We're not all the same. Like, our brains are wired so differently. And society always tries to, like, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. It's like, we're not the same, man. And yet, we're treated as if we're all the same. It's just depressing, but man, I'm only 23. I don't even know what to, oh, goodness, there's something on me. My bad, there was a bug on my face. But I'm literally only 23, dude. Like, I guess it's better sooner than later, but that's quite a young age to be going through this, But yeah, it is better sooner than later, because my entire first 23 and a half years, I'm almost 24, I've lived 23 and a half years, I say, not being true to myself, living a existence, doing things that were a part of my script. But now I'm realizing that it's just a script. That's all it is. It's literally a script. And I'm not going to follow it anymore. I'm done following that script. The only thing I have to do that's a part of the script is work a job, but I don't plan on working a job my whole life. I'm not doing it. You might say, oh, what are you going to do then? I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. But again, I'm not going to follow the script. I'm not going to be 65, working the same job, hoping to retire, just working in general. I'm not going to grow old just to work and do the same things that everyone else is doing. That's just not me. That's just not me. I don't care. Now, I don't have a plan, I don't have a plan set in motion or anything, but I just know that I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be 55 years old breaking my back in a job, or even if I'm not breaking my back in a job, I'm not going to do it. Again, I'm telling you, all these things I thought I was, all these things I thought I needed, I'm done. And it's just, I don't even know how to feel anymore, dude. I'm just rambling in this video, but hopefully you guys can relate to a bit of what I'm saying. Maybe not, but that's okay. It's just kind of a random video, spontaneous video. It's not even depressing either. It's just crazy. I am just speechless. I live my whole life being, I wouldn't say being fake, but who was that person, dude? I think back to my childhood and my teen years and even my early 20s, who the hell was that person, and why was I doing the things that I was doing? Why did I have the mindset that I had? Was I an idiot? No, I don't know if I was an idiot, but I don't even know who that person is anymore. So when I even hear people calling me by my name, I'm like, wait, what? Oh, that's me. When I look in the mirror, I'm like, bro, who the hell is that? I don't know if you guys understand me, but it's like this entire piece of flesh, this face that I have, it reminds me of the old me. It's I'm not saying I want to change my appearance or anything, but I'm just saying, it just sucks being so aware of like how much I've changed, but all of these things just remind me that I'm technically still the same person. Same dumb face, same skin, same, same fashion style. I don't even know. Either way, it is a nice trail right here. It's very therapeutic for me. That's the one thing that hasn't changed. I love nature. I love just taking walks at night. I love that. It just gets my mind off of, well, not even gets my mind off of things. Well, kinda. But it makes my thoughts more clear. I can think better when I'm just taking a stroll through. Ouch. I just think better when I'm taking a stroll through the night. Or nature. Or just quiet. Peace and quiet. Man, I'm ashamed of my past. I'm completely ashamed of it. I don't even know who that person is. And I'm just having all these thoughts about all of those things I used to do in the past. And it's not even like the far past, it's the near past too. Like, why did I waste my time interacting with anyone? Why did I waste my time trying to get people to understand me when that's just not gonna happen? Why do I waste my time with so many things, man? All I needed was just peace and quiet, to be isolated, to not interact with people unless it's, no strings attached, because that's fine, I guess. But why did I crave connections when connections weren't really worth it in the end? I mean, clearly that's the case, because look at it right now. I don't really feel the need to talk to anyone, socialize with anyone. And same reason why, people say, oh, you want to do Discord? Some of my fans, I'm not doing Discord. I'm sorry. I don't want to talk to, I like people in this community. You're my subscribers, of course. I see the same people commenting, but surely you guys understand what I mean when I say I'm not really trying to take this to the next level of socializing. Like, YouTube comments is fine enough with me. I'm not gonna really ever bother with Discord or trying to be friends with anyone in this community. No, it's just pointless. It's completely pointless, because you guys understand this the most. Even if we do try to talk to each other and become friends, it's just going to be the same thing that I always complain about, that you guys know I complain about. Small talk, forced interactions, just all that BS. So it's like, pretending to, being performative. Because even when I'm talking to people that understand that this is how humans interact, we just default are performative. Even though you guys understand that, we're still going to be doing the exact same thing. So I'm just going to keep it to myself. I don't really want to make friends. I guess another reason why I just kind of feel like an alien is because most people just don't really think like this. Most people, again, I think it's because the way the system is set up, they want to force work on everyone. You got to be productive, hustle, the way it's set up to how you don't really question things because it's just the way it is, and it's just what you're comfortable and familiar with. Like family, for example. You're just born into a family and you're just, oh, that's my brother. Oh yeah, that's my mom. Yeah, I love my mom because, I don't know, I just happen to be born into this family, so I just have to love my mom. I just have to listen to what she says. I just have to interact with these people that I'm only with just because of pure randomness. The whole concept of family is just stupid, and yet it's one of the most valued things in society. Like, why the hell should I care about my family when to me they're just strangers, dude? I know that sounds weird, but, and maybe I'm not really even explaining this properly because I'm tired, but I don't know. I just happen to be born into this family by pure randomness. Like, to me, they're just roommates at most. That's all they've been ever since I was pretty much born, just roommates. It could have been any other person that I was in the same family with. It just happened to be them. I don't care about them. The only person I care about is myself, and call me selfish, I don't care, because that's what I'm starting to realize. That's why I don't feel like a human being, because so many people are so empathetic. They care so much about other people. I only care about myself at this point. Why should I care about other people? Other people never did anything for me anyway. I'm not living their lives, I'm living my life. That's another reason why I just don't want to waste my time talking to anyone, because I really don't care about them. How's your day been? It's been alright, but I don't really want you to ask me that. Oh, I just got off of work, man. It was such a stressful day. I don't care. I just, like, why should I care about these things? Like, why should I care about anything anyone says? And I'm not even, like, trying to sound mean or anything. I'm just confused. Like, why should I care? And I open up, you know... My bad, I just lost my train of thought. One thing, too, is that I'm kind of just starting to realize that most people's words don't really do anything for me. And I don't really know how to explain it, but whether it's comments on my channel praising me and saying I agree with you, or whether it's someone hating on me, like, I just see it in the same way. Like, it doesn't really do anything for me. I feel like I'm living inside of my head, if that makes sense. It's like nothing in the outside world even exists. So even if you can relate to these videos and you're like, I love you, tragic reality, I'm not trying to sound ungrateful. I obviously appreciate it, but I can't sit here and be like these other guys that say, I love my subscribers. I don't really even think about YouTube really, unless I'm making a video. I don't have that sort of connection with anyone, even my subscribers. Like, I just don't. I'm not trying to be mean and hateful. All I think about is myself. I don't know, maybe I'm a narcissist. Maybe I am. But when I realize that other human beings are pretty much pointless to interact with, I just struggle to take it seriously. Man, if any of you have seen Alice in Borderland, that first episode when everyone in the world disappeared besides the main characters, I wish that happened, dude. I wish this whole world would just disappear. Because, like, I don't know. I don't even know why. I guess it just seems so useless to me. Every person I walk past, every person I look at, speak to, I just view them as like a robot. They're not even real. They're not, obviously I'm basically an NPC as well, but I don't know. I just really, really, really do not care about humans. And that's kind of why, like, I feel like I'm no longer a human being. I feel like I just lost that basic empathy that humans have. I don't know, dude. I don't even know what to say. I'm kind of just taking a walk. trying to think about my entire existence. And I guess it really doesn't even matter at the end of the day. Who cares, right? We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. Why does this even matter? Why does it matter who I am? Why does it matter how I feel? Why does it matter if I'm no longer a human being? When we're all gonna die anyway. And nothing, absolutely nothing we worry about. Well, I should say absolutely everything we worry about is completely and utterly pointless in the grand scheme of things. But yet, even with that being said, pain is real. And this pain right here is real. Someone commented on my video the other day saying, "You love this tragic reality." This was my video where I was talking about how I hate being a YouTuber. He was like, "You love the attention tragic reality. You love this." And he was talking about how you're basically fake and, you know, oh, you love this, don't lie. And, you know, again, that just kind of proves that people will just never understand you. Yay, I hit 10,000 subscribers. Whoa, 10,000 subscribers. Yay, let's celebrate, people. Let's throw a party about tragic reality hitting 10,000 subscribers. Who cares? Who cares about hitting 10,000 subscribers? I'm not happy about that. Why would I be happy about that? Yay, more money just so I can afford food. Yay, more money just so I can pay bills. Yay. Like, do people seriously not like understand like that this shit doesn't really like mean anything to some people? I don't think people like seriously understand this. It's kind of like what I was talking about earlier. Like, society, like, they try to, you know, make everyone feel like, you know, they try to shape everyone into the same way, into the same thing. So when someone says some stuff about how, you know, money doesn't really matter to them and it's not going to make them happy, most people are just mind blown. And to me, that's just, it's like I'm not even making that much money off of it. I mean, obviously I do enjoy how I can make money and, you know, earn something out of complaining, I guess. I do enjoy that. But I can't even sit here and pretend like I'm gonna be happy about this. I can't sit here and pretend like I'm happy about this. I just can't. Most of my time is like spent just thinking about this existence and my place in this existence and what the hell this even is. Most of my time is being hyper aware, thinking about how stupid and absurd life is. And, you know, people really think that a stupid number like 10,000, half of which, probably more than half of which, don't even watch these videos, they really think that I care about that. And, you know, it's just, I don't know, something about this existence, something about the way people are. My goodness, that was loud. But as I was saying, I just hate how like superficial people are. Why is everyone so one note, one trick? No, not one trick. Simple-minded, I should say. People are just so simple-minded, you know. I really can't believe I wasted my whole life being someone I'm not. I just I don't really have anything else to say in this video. This is just a rambly video. I just can't believe it. Like, I just can't. Like, I wasted all that time. And it's not even just about wasting time, it's just about the soul-crushing realization that I am not that person. And my memories are literally haunting me, being like, yes, you are that person, you did these things, you didn't have that mindset, you were really that stupid, you were really that, you know, unself-aware, if that's even a word. I really was. And it's insane to think about, because I clearly evolved from that. Whether this is an evolution or devolving into, I don't know, whether it's good or bad is what I'm trying to say. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, that, it's just such a huge drastic change, and it affected almost every aspect of my life. Pretty much every aspect of my life, to be honest. Because hobbies aren't fun anymore. I mean, money doesn't even make me happy. I mean, listen, I'll give you people this, right? If I blew up on YouTube a year ago, I would have been so happy. Yay, 10,000 subs, YouTube changed my life. I would have been like that, because I'm not gonna lie, even when I started this channel a year ago, I was not as awake as I was now. I'm not saying I'm fully awake right now, because awakening is a process. I'm never going to be fully awake, because almost every single day I think and think and think, and I have these realizations, even more realizations than I thought I had. Right when I thought I was finished, another realization comes up. And then another one, and then another one. And this is the most interesting thing about life. I keep realizing more and more things about this existence. And then the past me just keeps getting more and more distant. Because the past me, man, I wasn't even thinking, what the hell was I doing back then? What was I doing? Seriously. I was literally just a bot, an NPC. I mean, I still am an NPC. I feel like we all are, but you know what I mean. What the hell was I really doing? I had a brain, but it wasn't being used. I'm actually just I'm just mind blown right now. But maybe that was a good thing, because I wouldn't say I was happier back then, but I definitely wasn't suffering as much back in those days. Now, before I wrap this video up, I just want to give a quick thanks to the system and society. Now, I'm thanking the system for one thing, or two things. Thanks for being as messed up as it is, as disgusting as it is, as corrupt as it is. Thank you. Thank you for that. Because that's how this YouTube channel exists. Imagine if we lived in a good world. Tragic reality would not be a thing. Isn't that kind of crazy? You guys would never be able to hear my voice if we actually lived in a good world. So thank goodness we live in a trash world, right? Also, thank you to the system for being as trash and garbage as it is, because it made me a really, really self-aware individual. I'm not going to say intelligent. I don't think you need to be intelligent to be self-aware. I think the two are a bit different. But so yeah, I'm not going to say intelligent, but I don't know. I realize more things about myself. I'm realizing that I know who I want to be. I know what I want to do. Well, not in terms of a career. But who knows, maybe if this world was actually a good place, we'd all literally just be NPCs anyway, because it's such a good place. Why even think? Why think about anything? Isn't that kind of crazy, guys? We talk about, people have been asking me questions about how, what would a good world look like to you? And even if we do have a good world, guess what? You're still going to be an NPC anyway, because again, the world is actually a good place. You know, no reason to actually think and use your brain, because everything is, you know, everything is so nice. So, my conclusion: why even exist to begin with? You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Life is a curse, whether this world is good or bad. Screw this life.